With a look at news, I'm Phil D. Former President Donald Trump has sought again to link Vice President Kamala Harris to illegal border crossings, speaking in Prairie du Chien today, where he said she could never be forgiven for erasing our border. A day after Harris discussed immigration at the U.S.-Mexico border, Trump spoke to a crowd claiming the Democratic nominee was responsible for migrants who have come into the country illegally and have committed crimes. Trump is hoping frustration over illegal immigration will translate to votes in Wisconsin and other crucial swing states. The Republican nominee has denounced people who cross the U.S.-Mexico border as poisoning the blood of the country, quote, and vowed to stage the largest deportation operation in American history if elected. Trump has repeatedly portrayed migrants as criminals and blamed Harris for failing to stem an unprecedented surge in illegal immigration, though border crossings have fallen since President Joe Biden instituted an executive order limiting asylum claims. Democrats, in turn, have blamed Trump for persuading allies in Congress to kill bipartisan legislation that would have funded more border agents and given the Homeland Security Secretary authority to prohibit entry for most people over a daily limit. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name will remain on the swing state's presidential ballot. The decision from the liberal-controlled court Friday marks the latest twist in Kennedy's quest to get his name off ballots in battleground states where the race between Republican Donald Trump and Democrat Kamala Harris is tight. The Supreme Court upheld the ruling of a circuit judge who said state law says candidates can be removed only if they die. Some absentee ballots have already been sent to voters. A group of utilities has completed a high-voltage transmission linking Iowa and Wisconsin. American Transmission Company, Dairyland Power Cooperative, and ITC Midwest announced Friday that work on the Cardinal Hickory line is done and that the line was fully energized on Thursday. The line runs over 100 miles between Iowa's Dubuque County and Wisconsin's Dane County. The utilities say the line will improve reliability and support renewable generation resources. A coalition of conservation groups filed a federal lawsuit in March seeking to prevent the line from crossing the Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife Refuge. A federal appellate court cleared the way for construction in May. 39-year-old Jesse Vang, the last person to see Elijah Vu alive, is getting another status conference in court. The new status date for Vang was set for November 6th. Manitowoc County District Attorney Jacqueline Labrie asked for the new conference, with the lawyers representing Vang agreeing to the November date. Vang is still only facing chronic child neglect charges for incidents that happened before Elijah Vu was reported missing back in February. Vu's remains were found earlier this month on a hunter's property 3 miles northwest of where Vang reported the toddler missing. Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, who's also facing chronic child neglect charges, has another court date set for October 22nd. The American Red Cross continues to experience a critical need for blood and platelets to keep the blood supply stable as fall begins. Donors of all blood types, especially those with type O blood, those giving platelets, and those who have never given before, are needed now. With the blood supply still at critical levels, every single donation is key to making sure all patients relying on life-saving transfusions, including car accident victims and those living with sickle cell disease, get the care they need. You can save a life by donating this Monday from 9 until 3 at the Sauk County Public Health Department. Appointments are appreciated by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or online at redcrossblood.org. We'll be inheriting a mini-moon for a few weeks, but it's only temporary as an asteroid enters Earth's orbit. An asteroid is headed towards Earth. It's a line we've heard in the movies, and now it's appearing in news headlines. No need to panic. It's small. Scientists say it's only 32 feet long, about the size of a city bus. It'll be sucked into Earth's orbit on Sunday. A team of well-versed scientists in the study of so-called mini-moon events found it in early August and named it Asteroid 2024 PT5. It's a space rock from the asteroid belt of Arjuna, which orbits very similar to that of Earth at an average distance to the sun of about 93 million miles. Researchers say it's a part of a near-Earth asteroids and comets. In order for it to become a mini-moon, it needs to get close to Earth at around 2.8 million miles away and slow at speeds of around 2,200 miles per hour. This actually occurs so often, some researchers believe Earth always has at least one mini-moon hovering in space. Gravitational disturbances from the sun eject these space rocks out of the sun-centered orbit and then are essentially inherited and pulled into ours temporarily. This current event will only last from Sunday until Monday, November 25th, 57 days of a second moon. But asteroid 2024 PT5 will once again orbit Earth in 2055. Unfortunately, while this mini-moon hangs out around Earth, we will not be able to see it with our naked eyes. It's too small and dim for typical amateur telescopes and binoculars, but it is well within the brightness range for telescopes used by professional astronomers. The High Ground's annual Education Days event will offer 2 programs to enrich their educational mission. 2 days will be dedicated to the traditional 5th grade tour of the High Ground, along with 2 days of programs for students in middle school and high school. October 1st and 2nd will be the High Ground's traditional 5th grade days. Students will receive a guided tour of the High Ground with added presentations on different cultures, important moments in history, and a flag retirement ceremony by the Gam chapter of Daughters of the American Revolution. This 5th grade event will be a half-day presentation. Schools will need to pick the day in either the morning or afternoon session. Students are invited to bring a small resealable plastic bag of soil from their home, school, or other special place to place on the Dove Mound. Programs on October 3rd and 4th will be geared towards high school grade level. These days will feature programs that offer in-depth insight into the U.S. military experience in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the global war on terror, with accompanying presentations on the other nations, cultures involved in these wars. Schools will need to pick which day to attend. Both days will run a full day. A lunch break is included. Teachers are welcome to contact Teresa Herbert with questions if they want to coordinate a lesson plan with the presentations that will be offered. To book a session for your students, send an email to teresa@museum@thehighground.org or call 715-743-4224. A requested donation of $3 per person is appreciated if schools are able. The public is also invited to attend the presentations and tours. However, the High Ground kindly asks you that you contact Teresa for information and to RSVP.